Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Baseball HQ. Dakota Moyer, Nolan Bushman back with you. Ready for another episode of this off season. It's been actually really slow. I've been kind of bored waiting for something to happen, and then something finally did happen. Some things over the past couple weeks have been happening, and then one thing happened today that we're actually going to get into. You could label this the free agent episode of this offseason. At least for now, it's the most free agent offseason episode you're going to get. But first of all, how's it going?
Good. A little busy, bored with the trades. I'm waiting, is there gonna do anything happening? I always check my phone, something there, and nope, nothing. It's like, oh, something happened. I'm like, what? I'm bored. This is part, in my opinion, right now, the slowest free agency offseason in who knows how long. It's about now. It's like, go ahead.
But yes, it is definitely a very slow offseason. And then something finally happened today. But I don't think you really need to be looking at anything because Dodgers don't really need to sign anybody. But
Actually,
that's just my personal opinion.
we need outfielders and bullpen. That's the two main things. Outfield and bullpen. But
I mean, yeah, but you got
what you
along just
want?
fine without them last year. So,
True.
but anyway,
This is gonna be
well,
comes to Josh Naylor with a high fly ball to deep right field. There goes the shutout. Naylor goes very deep and makes it 5-1.
we're going to talk about the actual free agents. First off, Josh Naylor. Last year he was with the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Seattle Mariners. He is back with the Seattle Mariners on a 5-year, $92.5 million deal. Back in the city and in the team that he almost helped take to their first World Series appearance ever. They have never been to a World Series before. Not even having lost one, they've never been. He helped to almost take them there, and now he's back with that team, hopefully trying to do the same thing in 2026.
that'd be fun to watch Josh Naylor just come back this season. He's always been on fire. He's been ready. He's been out there wanting to play, wanting to enjoy it. Honestly, I can see him carrying the team, supporting the team. I have a feeling if he can stay on fire like it was this year and postseason, I have a strong feeling they can go to the World Series again next year. They have, with the power they have and the consistency and the strengths and the ability they have, combine them all together, you basically have a World Series team right there. Because you have Naylor, Kyle Schwarber, the best catcher you can think of. Yes, he's over Will Smith. He's got the talent. He's got the skill. He's like Yadiel Molino. Yep. Molino was catcher, right? Yadiel for the Cardinals. Believe so.
Catcher, yes.
He's about this, in my opinion, in the middle of Raleigh and Molino. That would be an interesting debate to see who would be the better catcher. But that's not the topic right now. We can talk about that another time. But Kyle Raleigh, if he can do something similar like he did this year, next year, World Series possible. And if they keep firing other good players, they got it right there. Their pitching was great. Their hitting was consistent. I see them in the future as World Series. So
Yeah, Josh Naylor, one of the best first basemen one of the best first basemen on the market, signed back with Seattle, and that Seattle Mariners team is really shaping up. I'm gonna give this signing an A+.
I would agree. I would strongly agree with that. Because if they didn't sign Naylor back again, what would the Mariners have? Who would be their backup first baseman? So that's probably the reason why he signed. They gave him a lot of money. because he helped them to get to the World Series, to where they were. So I would strongly agree with that.
Now the 1-2 pitch. He went around. Maton strikes out his second straight.
The next big free agent signing that we have is Phil Maton. Phil Maton, long relief pitcher, has signed a 2-year, $14.5 million deal with the Cubs. This after coming off a year that he split between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Texas Rangers, in which he compiled 63 games appeared in. He had a 4-5 win-loss record. He had 81 strikeouts compared to only 23 walks, 2 of them being intentional. But he's been one of the... Oh, and he also finished with a 2.79 ERA. So he's really been one of the best, most consistent relievers in the game since he came up in 2017. And he's really started to figure things out with the Cardinals and Texas Rangers. But now he's with the Cubs, and the Cubs are hoping to use that consistency to their advantage as they're looking for a deep postseason run this year.
The Cubs do need pitching. Showed the bullpen pretty good. Stacked a whole bunch of players.
They have to
But
rebuild
starting
that
with the
bullpen,
Cubs,
though.
yes, two of them were young, but honestly, joining with the Cubs, that will help them strongly. Hopefully he can do something to help them and encourage them. Just pretty good.
Give this signing an A- because in the past, Phil Maton has been a little rough around the edges, sometimes having an ERA over 6. As of recent, though, he's been figuring it out and amassing some pretty good ERAs and stats and preventing runs from scoring. But there is still the possibility of that happening, so I'm going to give this signing an A-.
I would agree. Can't wait to see what
And he hits this one in the air to left field. It's back. It's Kepler at the wall, and Taylor Ward has given the Angels the lead. It's a 2-run homer, and the Angels are up 6-4.
Swing and a miss by Seager, strike 3, and Rodriguez has a 1-2-3 inning.
Next up, and this one came as a shock to a lot of people. Taylor Ward of the Angels and Grayson Rodriguez of the Orioles have been traded for each other, coming off a very good year. Yes, the Los Angeles Angels, and now he had a good year with the Los Angeles Angels, a 228 batting average, 36 homers, 103 RBIs, on-base percentage 317, slugging percentage of 475, and a 792 OPS. So a good, really good season for Taylor Ward as he has been traded to the Orioles. But the guy that he's been traded for, he's only pitched in 43 games since his big league career started, and that was when he debuted in 2023. So really, he should have about 90-something starts right now. Coming up in 2023, having 2024, and then 2025. But instead, he only has 43 games. In 2024, he had a 13-4 record, 2.86 ERA, 130 strikeouts. So, Rodriguez has insane potential. He can be one of the greatest starting pitchers in the game if he can just stay healthy and stay on the field.
I would agree. For pitchers, he's the stats you said, that many strikeouts at a fairly early year, most recently years, and then leading on to more pitching, higher chances of playing. But if you think of it, the most common injury for pitchers, any kind of pitchers, whether you're a bullpen or a starter, is a Tommy John. Because once you get one, it's basically out for the season. Get two, basically, your season's going to be done. Your career's almost done. That's why for pitchers, you have to no matter if you're young or old, you have to be aware. So with pitching with the 3.60, 3.0 ERA, without many strikeouts, I honestly would say he has a good year and possibly could carry them to a close to the
I
World
wouldn't say
Series
the
or
Angels.
wait,
Nah, I wouldn't say the Angels are on the brink of a postseason.
it's just like the Detroit
Yeah.
the Detroit going a full fire-on blow. Oh, we're in the postseason. I'm like, you haven't been
Yep.
in the postseason for years.
Yep.
And honest, but this would be a good season. Hopefully something changes for the Angels. Hopefully they do better, but we shall see
Yeah.
what would happen.
Yeah, it's definitely a big unknown whether Grayson Rodriguez is going to do well this year. Right now, he's projected for 2026 to be pitching out of the bullpen, according to Baseball Reference, with a 6-3 record, a 4 ERA, 1 save, but 74 strikeouts out of the bullpen, which I can definitely see him pitching out of the bullpen. But that is a all around really solid trade. For the Orioles, I give that an A- for trading for a power hitting outfield, which they so desperately need. And then the Angels, I get a B because there's a lot of unknowns in that Grayson Rodriguez.
Brandon Nimmo flies one out to right center as we start the seventh. Back in the gap goes Scott near the wall. It's out of here. Brandon Nimmo launches a home run on the first pitch of the seventh inning.
Grayson popped out.
Well, that one's touched off. Deep out to left. It is gone. Marcus Semien leaves a yard, his 12th home run of the year.
We've got another trade. Trades have been actually really prevalent this year. Some of them big, some of them not. But this one definitely was big. New York Mets outfielder Brandon Nimmo was traded for Texas Rangers second baseman Marcus Semien. So this one coming as actually a bit of a surprise, but actually not. I can see where these teams are going with this. The Mets need a good infielder who has really good defense and can provide some offense, and Marcus Semien provides that much more than Jeff McNeil. But Brandon Nim and then the Rangers need all the help they can get since they just non-tendered Adolis Garcia. Brandon Nimmo would be a good addition to that outfield to maybe help the Rangers get back to where they were in 2023 when they won the World Series. But Brandon Nimmo coming off a good year in which he batted .262, 25 homers, 92 RBIs. So just a really good season for the Mets. Almost helped them get to the playoffs, but unfortunately they missed out on that. Semien, on the other hand, had a down year offensively compared to his other years. He only batted .230, 15 homers, 62 RBIs, but he did provide very good defense all the way up to winning a Gold Glove this year. So the Mets wanted defense in their infield. They got that. The Rangers needed power in their outfield. They got that. So overall, a pretty good trade for Brandon Nimmo and Marcus Semien.
I would agree. When I first saw him, like, I could. Brandon Nimmo, when he was with the Mets for a few years, pretty much his whole career was with the Mets since 16. And now with the Rangers, I would be like, they just lost a good outfielder, one of the best outfielders I've had for years. So, and now they have to recover with that. Yes, they have Soto, he's good, skill, power, and everything like that. But losing Nimmo to a point is good. I would agree with it. But Semien, now with the Mets, good infield, they need some infield. They have Alonso, which they're trying to re-sign him, which if they do, which is good. Infield, they do need, unless, I read in a post, I don't know exactly where it was, probably MLB. Well, the reason why they got rid of Nimmo, they traded Nimmo for Semien, was to see if they can get another good outfielder. Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker. They, in a sense, open that up. Which, yes, it is good. Yes, they need power. Yes, they need outfielders. But you also need to focus on the other areas. Tucker and Cody Bellinger are mainly outfielders, which can help them. Getting a good infielder is beneficial and it's important. But Rangers with having Nimmo now, that should help him to get another chance to be in the World Series, close to it. And with his power and his skill average is below a 3, which is good, obviously. But that was a good trade. Even though it shocked like almost a lot of people, I feel it was a good one.
Liner pretty patient. Swing and a miss, and striking out is Harris. Third strikeout for Dylan Cease.
Next on the list, this was the biggest news, I'd say, of this offseason so far. Right-handed starting pitcher Dylan Cease, longtime San Diego Padre, he has signed a 7-year, $210 million deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. This coming off the heels of the Toronto Blue Jays being 2 outs away and then inches away from winning a World Series. And they are already right back in it, hoping to get back to the World Series by signing one of the best free agents on the market. Cease coming off a interesting year. He went 8-12 with a 4.55 ERA, 215 strikeouts over 168 innings pitched. But this is coming off a year where 2024, where he went 14-11 with a 3.47 ERA and 224 strikeouts. So a little bit of a down year for Dylan Cease, but still one of the best pitchers in the game. And the Toronto Blue Jays saw that. They pounced on an opportunity, and they got it in there. And they have Cease now locked up for the next 7 years.
I'm going to do this from a Dodgers point of view. We have a good chance that we never won't have to play him for who knows how long. So that's good. He's good. He's very hard to hit off of. He's got that power. He's got the pitch skill. He understands it all completely, without a doubt. And his ability and skill and pitching-wise is very challenging. That's how they pretty much almost took some of us this season. They had great pitching, beat us, but they would have to hit against him. But now with Toronto, I wonder how the American League's going to do against him. Or how well he's going to do against them. Because every league's different, so is all he allowed to go against is Judge and Grisham he is signed with the Yankees, so.
Jose Ramirez, Nick Kurtz, people in the AL, people that will have a hard time having to go against. Who?
The reason why I did that is, like, you don't have much, because American League's, like, sure, you have the cool guys, but it's, like, the least common, the least well-known players.
Yeah.
You have Trent Grisham. You don't hear much about him a lot. Carlos Stanton. Finally starting to hear back about him later in the season. Mid to late season. Sometime in the middle of the season. He comes back off of injury. But it's like, I wonder how Dylan Cease is going to do against them. Is he going to still have his power? Is he still going to have his pitching skills, his speed and his agility? He's able to read players when they play him? Or will he have a sink down, be in the gutters for a little bit, and then wake up and just fire up and get them back in the World Series again? That's the thing I want to see. What will he do? Will he sink down, or even if he rises up and does better than he was with the National League? Who knows? That's the one thing I want to see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. And I give that signing a definite A+. Toronto landing one of the top pitchers on the market.
Helsley ready with a 3-2 pitch. Struck him out looking.
This news just came out today. You're probably going to be listening to this later. So this is Saturday, November 29th. But one of the best closers on the market has gone off. Closer Ryan Helsley has signed a 2-year, $28 million deal with the Baltimore Orioles. So he is no longer a Cardinal. He is no longer a Met. He is now an Oriole. I think this is his first visit and his first in the American League. He's been all National League up until this point, but now he has signed with a American League team, the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles needed a closer after losing Felix Bautista, after losing him to injury this year, and he's going to be out most of next year. Ryan Helsley, he is the Orioles closer for the next 2 years at least. And if Felix Bautista comes back, I saw something that said that those two can be a definite and threatening eighth inning and ninth inning tandem.
I would love to see him pitch. He's incredible. You've seen how good he's been. That's incredible.
Yeah. 2025, he had a really interesting year. He had a 3-4 record, a 4.50 ERA. He had 21 saves, 56 innings pitched, with a total number of 63 strikeouts, 25 walks. So a little bit down on the strikeout rate. What's really interesting is he had a 4.50 ERA this year. He had a 3 ERA, 3 flat ERA with the St. Louis Cardinals. But when he got traded to the New York Mets, it was a disaster. I mean, complete and utter chaos when he went over there. He finished the year with a 4.50. He had a 3 ERA with the Cardinals and a 7.20 ERA with the New York Mets. This coming off the Major League save leader in 2024, who had 49 saves. 49 saves and a 2.04 ERA, coming in the very next year, being traded halfway through the year, and having a 7.20 ERA with the club that he was traded to. So that is, yeah, it's a very interesting season in 2025 for Ryan Helsley. But he is, no matter what rough seasons he has, he is still one of the greatest closers in the game currently, and we hope that it is a very good tenure with the Baltimore Orioles.
Yep.
I give this signing an A. So we're going to get, those are all what happened in free agency since we last spoke, or since we last covered free agency. But now we want to get into some free agent predictions. And I think I don't think we've covered these yet. First of all, we want to predict Kyle Schwarber. There have been reports on who is close to signing Schwarber. The Phillies definitely in there to try and get their 56 home run outfielder back, or a DH back. I've seen the Red Sox are interested in him. I've seen the Reds tossed around in there. Just different teams. I think the Phillies and the Red Sox are the two main teams that have been thrown around. They really wanted to make a splash. The Nationals could sign Kyle Schwarber. That would really make a statement to the world that they are back in this thing and ready. But that's more than likely not going to happen. So, predictions for Kyle Schwarber. What do you think? What are your thoughts about where 32-year-old slugger will land?
I'm going to take this on a Philadelphia Phillies fan view the best I can. But if I was the Phillies manager or someone in charge, I don't care what coaching or someone else owning, I would basically figure out ways, see how much he wants, how much we're willing to give him to keep him on the Phillies. Because if you get rid of who do you have that has power? Who do you exactly have has power? Not many. That Schwarber's the main power hitter. So once you get rid of him, your chances of being strong just went down a decent to good amount. 50-something home runs.
Yeah.
And you get rid of him, that's probably, in my opinion, probably the dumbest decision. The dumbest decision would be like, you have your best DH. You have your best hitter. Oh, sure, go play at the Boston Red Sox. We don't care. I would keep him with the Phillies. Without a doubt, keep him with the Phillies.
Yeah.
And that's my prediction. He stays with the Phillies.
Yeah. There have been other teams, and this one I was really surprised at. The Pirates have reportedly checked in and are in the race for Kyle Schwarber. But no one really cares what the Pirates do or who
Nope.
they're interested in anymore. Unless they're trading Paul Skeens, then everybody's going to be all over that. But nobody really cares about what the Pirates are doing or what they want
Nope.
to do. So my prediction and your prediction is he stays with the Philadelphia Phillies. This one's a big one. Kyle Tucker probably has many ranked as the best free agent on the market right now. I am actually disagreeing with that. I believe Kyle Schwarber is the best
Yes.
player on the market.
Kyle Tucker didn't have that good of a season.
Yeah. But there are rumors out there. The Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Blue Jays are considered the most likely for him to sign. But the Cubs also are a candidate to re-sign him, but probably not going to happen. And then the Orioles have also been tossed around as a potential landing spot for Kyle Tucker. If Kyle Tucker landed with the Orioles, I think a lot of people are going to have to start becoming Orioles fans. Because this Orioles team, if they keep doing what they're doing, they're stacking up to be a pretty good team. Kyle Tucker, Yankees, Dodgers, and Blue Jays, it's been a really big question about whether or who he'll sign with. And many predict a contract between $350 million and $400 million. But it's a big risk at signing Kyle Tucker with his history of second half injuries, which has been very prominent over the past couple of years with Houston and with Chicago. But the Yankees, Dodgers, and Blue Jays considered the likely contenders, and I am actually going to predict that he signs with the New York Yankees. I think the Yankees have I think they have the resources to bring him back, and I think that would very much help make up for the loss of Cody Bellinger as well as the loss of Juan Soto 2 years ago. So I think Kyle Tucker signs probably anywhere from 3 years to anywhere up to 7 or 8 years contract, but I predict that is with the New York Yankees.
The thing about Kyle Tucker, he wants a long term. So that's at least 5 or more years. He wants a long term, lots of money. It would be having him with the Dodgers, yes, it would be a help to the outfield, but honestly, I don't think he'll be coming to the Dodgers. I don't think so. So now I'm down to Blue Jays or Yankees. Yankees are good with outfield. Well, they do need help with the outfield. 2 good players leaving. Blue Jays, they have a good defense outfield.
I want to preface something here. These free agent predictions, it is all right if we disagree because I'm planning on coming back in later episodes when these free agents have signed, and I want to keep a tally of whose free agent predictions were right. I want to come back and just have a fun little competition so fans and listeners can look forward to that. You can make your own predictions and see how it goes, but just a little preface in there.
If Kyle Tucker goes to the Blue Jays, he would more than likely be taking Luke's spot. If he went to the Yankees,
Nah. Lucas is staying. If anything, they would move Addison Barger to the infield. But Lucas has established himself as
he can play.
Barger is a main shortstop and third baseman, but he is a cannon of an arm in the outfield. But he played a lot of outfield in the postseason because of Ernie Clement. But
Yes.
Lucas is not leaving that infield or that outfield for a while.
I'm going to change my prediction and go to the Blue Jays. I'm going to the Blue Jays with him.
All right. Now here's another interesting one. Japanese right-hander Tatsuya Imai coming over from Japan and the Seibu Lions. Many teams or several teams have been thrown around. Mets, Yankees, the Giants, maybe the Pirates, maybe the Marlins, maybe. But the big name right now seems to be the Giants. There are quite a few, or there are several. Actually, there actually might be one Japanese or Asian player on the Giants, and that's Jung-Hoo Lee. But Tatsuya Imai has been linked to those teams. Mets, Yankees, and Giants. What are your predictions?
So I did see in a post, and this has been everywhere. Imai wants to play against the Dodgers, wants to
Yep.
beat the Dodgers. So the only team that I can think of out of those three lists is the Giants, because that's in the same league, in the same division as us. Yankees and Mets are in the American League, so we don't really play them a whole lot, except maybe here and there every few years. I would have to go with the
Before you make a
go with the
decision,
Giants. Okay.
before you make a decision, the Blue Jays have also reportedly been in the running for Tatsuya Imai. And this is from MLB.com 3 days ago, and I quote, Tatsuya Imai wants to do what the Blue Jays came so close to doing, end quote. So if he signs with the Blue Jays, that would be a very interesting development. So is Giants still your prediction?
Can I only have one team, or can I choose two teams? Just one?
Yes.
I'm going to change my guess, my prediction, and I'm going to go with the Blue Jays.
Okay. So you've got the Blue Jays signing 2 of probably the top 10 free agents in this class, and they've already signed Dylan Cease, so you're going with 3 of the top. I'm actually going to disagree with you. I think the San Francisco Giants are all in on signing Tatsuya Imai. I've heard too much about the Giants being close to him and wanting to go so in on getting him and making him a Giant. So I would have to disagree, and I would have to predict that the San Francisco Giants sign Japanese right-hander Tatsuya Imai. Well, everybody, thank you for listening. This has been another episode of Baseball HQ. Be sure to like and subscribe. You can email us, baseballhqpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can drop a comment. Tell us what you think, anything we can do better, anything that you'd like to see implemented on the show. Also, we have a Substack account. If you have Substack, you can go on, follow Baseball HQ. It's been another good episode 11. We're moving up there. Everyone, thank you for listening. It is a beautiful day for a ball game.